Good afternoon, students. I hope all of you here are good and attentive because in today's class, we are going to take you back in time and learn about the two great wars of all time, the World War I and the World War II.
The population of the world was 1.6 billion at the beginning of the 20th century.
Students, during this time, the industrial capitalism has transformed the way in which people earned livelihoods. But this was only in the countries in the West.
Countries like Britain and others were industrial powers which also had a huge colonial empire spread across different parts of the world. The world in those days was divided into West, which had economic growth, and the rest which was highly backward and worsened with the Western colonial exploitation.
Let us look in detail on how the world was in between the wars, the World War I and the World War II. But before that, let us get some insights into the conditions of the world during the 20th century.
Historian Eric Hobsbawm termed 20th century as the age of extremes. Amidst the increasing domination of fascism, there were aspirations for democracy across the world, which has promoted the growth of unquestioned power and hatred for other people.
This was the same time during which literacy increased and the average life expectancy rose. Movies emerged. There was a growth in the scientific knowledge which threw light on atoms and life.
Also, women, who constituted half of the population, were given the right to vote, starting in the West. Many nations across the world made their way to independence and freedom across the world.
This time was also the time when there was a lot of experimentation. This is because during this time, people strived to create socialist societies or alternatively liberal democracy based on political liberty and capitalist economy. Students, but during this period, the world saw the phenomenon of the Great Depression, which resulted in economic slowdown and huge unemployment and the loss and damage of millions of lives in the two world wars. Here's an exercise for you. Try and find out what the Great Depression was all about. So it can be summed that the 20th century was an era of great expectations, experiments, and dangerous developments. Now let us have a look at the timeline of events between 1914 and 1945.
In the year 1914, the First World War began on August 1st. The Russian Revolution took place in the 1917. The First World War came to an end in 1918. The Treaty of Versailles was signed in 1919. In the same year, the League of Nations was formed. In 1933, Germany saw the rise of Hitler. In 1939, the Second World War began. In 1942, the German invasion of USSR took place. The United Nations Organization was formed in 1945. The Second World War ended in August 1945.